Hello everybody, my name is Jadzia. Welcome to my channel. I am a children's librarian that lives in Connecticut right now with my husband and two cats. You will probably see them. My husband's name is Andrew. My two cats' names are Bagheera. He is a black long-haired cat. He's gorgeous. He's named after the Jungle Book jaguar. And Athena, and she is a gray tabby. She's super fat. You'll love her. And she's got a lot of personality. We're big fans of Athena and Bagheera over here. And Athena is named after the Greek goddess Athena. And she is definitely the goddess of our house. She runs this place. My reading taste is all over the place. I love thrillers. I love mysteries. I love horror. I like to be scared. Only a little bit though. Fairy tales, folk tales, mythology, that sort of thing. Really randomly specific history. I just kind of read whatever I want, which is what you're supposed to do, but it's all over the place for sure. I would love to give you a couple recommendations. If you are looking at me and saying, Jazzy, I don't read. I'm not into reading. I'm not invested in reading, but I want to get into reading. What are some books that are attention grabbers? What are some fun ones that you think I should read? So I have 5 books here that I'm going to briefly go through and tell you why I think that you would like them, why I like them. These are some of my favorite books of all time. If you are a nonfiction reader, if you're like, Jazzy, find me a book where I'll learn something, where I'll be entertained, where I won't want to put the book down, I would highly suggest picking up anything by Mary Roach. But specifically, I loved this book, Stiff. And I know, you're like, Stiff, The Curious Life of Human Cadavers, ick. Stiff is a very interesting book. Because one, Mary Roach is hilarious. Her writing style is very funny. She has a lot of humor in it, but she also does a great job of summarizing and introducing you to a topic in a way that isn't overwhelming and keeps you interested. This book talks about and goes into different burial rituals throughout the world, how we treat the dead and how we honor them, the job of a mortuary and what they do to prepare the body, donating your body to science and what they might do, some of the studies they might do with your body. But the biggest thing that this book does is it tries to destigmatize death and dying. It doesn't fully do it, I don't think, because I think it's hard to not have a fear of death and dying. But she does a great job of talking about preparing yourself for death and dying, for yourself and for your loved ones, and things to think about before that. So I think that this book is one of the best books I've ever read. It was so fascinating. You don't think that you would find humor in a book about human cadavers, but there are also moments that are so beautiful and touching. So highly recommend Stiff. I love Mary Roach's writing. This is the only book I've read by Mary Roach, but we own a couple. Remind me to give you a book tour because we have so many freaking books in this house. She does such a great job of summarizing and introducing a topic. Now you might be saying, okay, Jazzy, human cadavers, can I have another book? And I would say check out Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. This is one of my favorite books. And actually, my husband introduced me to it when we first started dating. This was his first book recommendation to me. So that's kind of fun. Susan, who's our main character, is a book editor. Now, her client, Alan Conway, is a mystery writer. He writes the Atticus Pund series. Think Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot kind of a series, you know? He sends Susan his last manuscript. She reads the whole thing and starts to notice that this book seems a little off. It's different than the ones he sent before. For one thing, the last chapter is missing. Mystery. For another, it starts to mirror moments in Alan's life in a way that doesn't seem right. So this book follows 2 mysteries. The murder in the Atticus Pund series and a murder caused by the book that we're following. Now you might be saying, Jazzy, I love a mystery, but that's a big book. I would recommend you The Westing Game by Ellen Reskin. This is what it looks like. This is my copy. I did get it at a thrift store, so ignore the missing front of the book. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. This book follows 16 people who live in Sunset Towers, okay? And those 16 people get invited to a will reading of Samuel W. Westing, who lives in a mansion nearby, okay? Those 16 people show up to the will reading, not really knowing who this man is or knowing him well. They get told whoever solves how Samuel Westing died gets his fortune of $200 million. But the twist is that one of the 16 people, was the one that killed Samuel Westing. This book is phenomenal. It's fun, it's fast. There are clues that they're trying to figure out. It does feel very much like it was Mrs. Peacock in the ballroom with a knife, if you know what I mean. Now, with Westing Game, we have a rich person giving away their money. The next book is about swindling people out of their money. You'll hear me say this is my favorite book a lot because I absolutely love so many books. However, this book is actually one of my absolute favorite books of all time that I've ever read. And that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I'm just like so excited just opening the front page. Okay, this book is a heist novel. It follows Kaz Brecker, who is known as the Bastard of Ketterdam. He is the most ruthless, vile, terrifying creature on the streets. The scariest thing about Kaz is that he's very clever, and he is given the opportunity to try to pull off the heist of a century and break someone out of the Ice Court, which is the most highly secure building in all the world at this point. That would be easy if there weren't Grisha. And Grisha have powers. And some of these Grisha come after Kaz and his crew. Now, Six of Crows follows criminals, vile people. But the next book follows someone accused of a crime, and that is Holes by Louis Satcher. Holes, oh my god. You guys, Holes is probably okay. Okay, I know I just said this about Six of Crows, but Holes. Okay, listen, I am just coming up with bangers. This stack is a banger stack. Okay, if you read any of these books, you will be satisfied. We follow Stanley Yelnats the third, mind you, living his life walking down the street one day when he gets hit in the head with flying shoes. Now, unfortunately, these flying shoes are stolen goods. They were stolen from a world famous athlete who donated them to charity. And now Stanley shows up with these shoes. He gets caught by the police and they tell him, you have two options: go to jail or go to a juvenile detention camp. He decides to go to the Camp Green Lake. When he gets there, he realizes there's no lake. There's no lake. The lake is dried up, and he and the other juvenile detentionists, he and the other kids are tasked with digging holes every single day. They're told that they're digging for their character. Stanley thinks that he's digging for something deeper than that. And as you read, go uncover the history of Camp Green Lake, and you discover exactly why Camp Green Lake is the way that it is. It's so funny. It's so funny. There's your stack. There's your stack of 5 books that you may or may not enjoy, but 5 recommendations nonetheless. I'll be back with more recommendations. I'll be back with more bookish vlogs, and I hope that I'll see you along for the journey. Other than that, happy Wednesday and have an amazing week. All right? Bye, everybody.